So example four has some practice with just basic receivable transactions and in particular estimating bad debt with an aging schedule. Make sure that one of the principal ways people can muck up the bad debt expense adjustment is that when they apply the aging schedule, so I'll apply this one really quickly. 343, we have $347,000 of accounts that have a 5% likelihood of default. So that would be, or that would tell me I should anticipate $17,350 of credit losses in that 347. And so basically, what I am tabulating here is my ACL account. And then 83,000 times 0.08 or 8% gives me 6,640. So when I roll through that and add those two together, that's 23,990. Remember, this is my desired adjusted trial balance amount. Okay, this is not bad debt expense. Why is it not bad debt expense? Right? Think about the difference. If I'm using my ACL account, it actually tells me here what the balance of allowance for doubtful accounts prior to adjustment was. So prior to adjustment, meaning my unadjusted balance, 19,500. This being my desired adjusted trial balance amount, we're not going to stick it right here underneath the 19,500. We're going to give it a little bit of room and then record it here. Because remember, any time that we're doing a trial balance, I draw that vertical line and then I have to reconcile what happened. Well, something happened to bring me from 19,500 to 23,990. That something, that dollar value, that adjustment, this is my bad debt expense. So I would debit bad debt expense and credit ACL because I needed credit to go from here to here, from 19,500 to 23,990. Whatever that amount is, that's my bad debt expense for the period. Okay. So it's a two-step process. Remember that piece. Um, then it goes into two similar problems. This one starts you off at some balances for the quarter, and then tells you to use the balance sheet method with an aging schedule. It gives you in a tabular format the transactions that occurred during the quarter, and then it gives you an aging schedule for the end of quarter one and for the end of quarter two. So let's just look at the information you're given and how to assimilate it. So notice this is gross credit sales, the cash amount collected from accounts, sales discounts that are recorded. Okay, so this part tends to be the part that people don't quite see right away or get a little confused by. If this is my gross credit sales and I'm using a sales discounts account, remember we only use a sales discount account when we are recording under the gross method. So when I make $2,701,500 of credit sales in the first quarter, that is just going to be recorded as a debit to accounts receivable, AR, a credit to sales revenue for that amount because it's already at its gross amount. Now, when I collect cash and have an amount of sales discounts that are recorded, then think about it as the collection. This is the actual cash that I am receiving. 2646. Now, is that the amount of receivables that I am settling that my customers have paid off? No, it's not, because if I recorded sales discounts, then I have another player in here that's coming in for my collection entry. So that's 51,000. Then that means accounts receivable will be those two pieces added together. And why is that? Again, refresh yourself on that idea. My customers paid 51,000 less cash than the receivables that were settled because they're paying with discount and the receivables are being recorded under the gross method. The rest, account restatements, write-offs, account recoveries, those I hope those transactions should be pretty straightforward for you. What this exercise is going to kind of force you into is making T accounts for accounts receivable and your allowance for credit loss, and then walking them forward to their unadjusted balances, using those unadjusted balances by way of the aging schedule to get your desired ending balance for ACL and then adjust for bad debt expense. The only difference between 2 and 3 here is that under 3, you get net credit sales, you get sales discounts forfeited. So here is a net method approach. Both will be super helpful for you learning to record those accounts receivable transactions and also adjust for bad debt.